Hello viewers, here is a Marvin screen fan. This is model 813, motor type C. I'm not sure if they're referring to a C frame shaded pole motor or if it just happens to be coincidental that it's a Model C motor that they used or what have you. It does have a C frame shaded pole motor, unlike the older versions of this fan that had the 2-pole circular stator motor. And it does draw 0.7 amps, whatever that is. I suspect that's probably a typographical error. Although amps is an abbreviation, normally it's not followed by a period when written on a label. This is a more recent version of the fan. I suspect this probably came out of the 90s, maybe the early 2000s at most. I would say mid to late 90s. It would have had a polarized plug at some point, although it appears as though somebody has cut off the polarization. And it has one of these kind of cheaper switches in the rotary kind of type switch. This is 3 amp switch. UL listed 6 amps, 125 volts. 3 amps is for 250 volts. Made in USA. So I guess it can't be all that cheap. Made in USA. Gilbert switch. And is the fan itself made in the USA? Doesn't seem to notate. Well, I suspect it probably is. Doesn't say made in China or anywhere. And they're usually not shy to put their name on the stuff that they make. So anyways, this was one of those things that I picked up at a tag sale for a pocket full of change years ago and just never got to it. And I'm trying to stop doing that. I'm trying to stop getting things and not getting to them, or starting a project and never finishing it. Although I have to admit, it's working out kind of well now, because now that I'm stuck at home and I can't go out and look at tag sales or whatever, I have all these projects to finish up and all these fans I haven't recorded yet that I can record now when I need the materials. So kind of worked out in a sense. But anyways, I've never tested this thing. At least I don't recall testing it. I don't even know if it works. So let's go ahead and plug this up. It's kind of a weird size. Vertically, it's much taller than it needs to be. And it has the extension, of course, which could be as wide as your window. And actually, it's dirty, but it looks like it would probably clean up really well. Some rust on the grill here, and that can probably be wire brushed off. This looks like it's just dirty, and the screen is in really good condition. There's no holes in it at all. Although there is a little bit of a rust patch where the fan, as you can see. You can see it, where the fan would draw the air through. It's kind of rusted, probably from moisture and dust sticking to it. But the screen is in good condition, which is good, because I don't know how you'd replace the screen on one of these. This is nailed together, so I have to get that apart somehow and tack it back on. And I don't know how this, probably pressed in there somehow. I wouldn't want to try to replace the screen on this thing, so I'm glad the screen is not broken. Although all the windows in this house have screens on them, so could this be used without the screen? Absolutely. Anyway, so let's prop this up here. I've got to open enough such that the fan is not drawing air through both the screens, because that creates more restriction. And well, the bearings don't seem to be locked up, which is a little bit surprising, because these were relatively notorious for having cheap bearings. Oh, let's see what happens. Well, it seems to run just fine. Took a lot longer to start up than the older ones do because this motor doesn't have as much torque, even it's only one pole versus two. I don't think it's running quite as fast as the old ones did. I'm not sure if that's a result of the motor being less powerful or it just not being as good a quality. But it seems to run. It runs just fine. It's moving a lot of air. Bearings aren't even rattling, although something is rattling. I think that's just a screen somewhere. It's moving a strong breeze. You know what I kind of like about this one over the other ones is that it has kind of this Venturi thing around where the edge of the fan blade is, so it doesn't draw air in from the sides and from the room. Runs very smooth too. There's really no vibration to speak of. Very, very well balanced blade. Alright, so that definitely works. Let's go ahead and cut it off. The bearings actually aren't bad. Maybe the bearings, I find it hard to believe, but perhaps the bearings were better in these C-frame ones than they were in the round ones. Well, anyways, that works. This will make for a good restoration project. Thank you for watching.